the kitchen. I'm gonna
That
eat all the
sucked.
coffee.
Dude, it's not looking good for the Bucks.
This is how they started the Nets series. They started the Nets series worse. They lost by like 40 against them at the Nets. And I was like, yep, they're done. Time to fire the coach.
It's true.
However, the only Bucks player that was positive in the plus minus efficiency was Giannis.
Well, yeah, he played his best game in a while.
And Chris Middleton was negative 15.
Yeah, Drew and him were, I think, combined like 12 for 34 or something like that.
Drew's been bad both the first two games. Drew has not had a fantastic playoff.
Michael Bridges balled out over top of them too. Bridges is some no-name guy on the Suns.
No-name guy who was good in college.
Right.
That's how it always goes. That no-name guy, he gets hot, carries you.
Frank Van Vliet or whatever his name was.
Fred Van Vliet. Everybody knows him now.
Everybody.
At the time.
For sure. I'm like, who is this scrappy little white guy just balling right now? White. What is he?
I think he might be mixed.
Really?
Look him up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. True. Mixed for sure. I think you can clearly tell that he's mixed. I guess when I glanced at that one time. It was just a quick glance. Balled out, though. Balled out. Frederick Edmund Van Vliet Sr. You would for sure think, yeah.
Yeah.
You already know.
Did you watch the game last night?
I caught a little bit of the fourth quarter because we were walking 16th Street Mall. So I was catching glimpses of the game as we were walking by restaurants and stuff, and we went and got ice cream and I sat there and watched it a little bit. But no, I did not catch beginning to end. I most definitely will Sunday though. The whole Sunday schedule's clear. It's in Milwaukee. Watching that one from beginning to end. But yeah, I watched the first one, obviously beginning to end. Didn't get to catch yesterday's. You?
I had caught the fourth quarter. The game started in the middle of the game. So somebody brought a radio, and we listened to it on the radio for the most part. So it was pretty much
right. That's right. You were softball. That's right. I was like, why didn't you? But that makes sense.
All right. You ready to go?
Indeed. Yep, I'm on. Hey, how am I sounding?
Sounded good when I checked a couple seconds ago.
Right. That's right. Wow, I'm not even skipping or nothing. Let's go. This enter.
But Bucks, anything else?
Bucks. So let's touch on Rodgers a bit.
What is it?
And I want to talk about
the mental health.
Yeah, and just I guess we just talk a little bit more about your thoughts and stuff on his possible return. That's what he said. He said possibly. But I was talking with Melvin Gordon too. Melvin's looking really good, man. I got to send you a video.
Okay.
You know, this is his last year on contracts. Dude, he's looking fast. Granted, yeah, it's drills, but I haven't seen him look this fast. And even our running backs coach, well, the head coach now for NIU said the same thing.
Hammond?
Yeah. I gotta send you this video.
All right. Welcome, sports fans. Thank you for tapping into some Untapped Keg Sports. I'm RJ Zimmerman here with my good friend, Monte Ball. How you doing, big guy?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm happy. I may like doing this in the mornings better. I feel better. I'm not as tired. I'm energetic. I'm feeling good though. We got a lot to cover, man. A lot to cover. How about yourself?
Um, I don't like doing this in the mornings. I feel more tired. My allergies are just whooping me this week. It's ridiculous.
I'm right there,
I
with you.
It took me out back and it beat me like I stole something. Like
Out to the shed.
it's rough. It's rough. I've been taking those allergy pills. Don't help, but it is what it is.
Zyrtec does nothing nowadays. I don't know what they change. You know how you go to a new restaurant and you can tell it's a different chef, for good or bad. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. You never know, depending on obviously how your first experience was. But what's going on with Zyrtec? It seems like it's not as potent or as strong as it used to be.
I think
it's not doing its job.
I think those drug companies want you to take 2 at a time.
So true. Buy more. Yeah, that's America for you though. So that honestly, something that off the wall is probably not that far from the truth. Again, to everyone listening, please do not take 2 Zyrtec pills. Please do not.
I've done it before.
Viewer discretion advised. Read the
label on the drugs you take. Talk to your doctor.
Touche. But we got some stuff to get into, man. So I can't remember. These weeks go by quickly. We didn't have an opportunity to talk about Game 1, right?
No. Game 1 was let's see, last Thursday game night. Game 1 was Tuesday night. So yes, let's get into it. Bucks NBA Finals. Wisconsin sports team finally in the finals. About to get swept. So game one. How did you feel watching that game? Because you came over and we watched the game together, the entire game, and it's everything. Giannis comes back, which he started the day doubtful. Then he went questionable. Then he worked out before the game, and it was like, oh, he's playing. There's no way he's not playing.
Right. I remember that we covered. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate this. Sorry, guys are getting some coffee here, but I remember when we covered it. Yeah, our thoughts were that he should sit. If I was the head coach, I would have sat him for the first game. Just mainly because on paper, everyone knew that the Phoenix Suns were going to win. The Phoenix Suns had more rest. The Bucks.
Everybody knew.
True. I guess I'm just gonna say that's how I felt for sure, and I'm sure some other people felt that way too. They had more of a rest, and the Bucks were coming off of a tiresome series, and then obviously Giannis being a little banged up. I would have sat him the first game, but again, let's just get right into it, man. The Suns, and even this is the same for game 2 as well too, but let's just talk about game 1. The Suns are just shooting lights out, man. They're just hitting shots. They're just hitting. They're sinking. Chris Paul is really doing a phenomenal job of, for one, ball security. They're really doing a great job of eliminating as many turnovers as possible, but also he's doing a phenomenal job of creating space and getting the ball to players in open space. But also, as we all know, Chris Paul from 15 feet out is 99% chance he's making that shot contested. He's playing some really good basketball. He really is.
Chris Paul looks like Chris Paul of 10 years ago right now.
Yeah. This might be his only chance.
Quick, but he's energized. He's ready. This Suns team, and we said it coming in, like they play team ball. They don't.
Yeah. They
move that ball around. They have a set offense. They don't have one player that the ball has to go through.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell they're a well-coached team. Like Monty Williams, he has them running on all cylinders. This playoff run is incredible from the Suns. Nobody expected this. Nobody expected them to get out of the first round when they were playing the Lakers. So it's a fun team to watch. It is, but it's frustrating when you watch them play a team that you're cheering for, because every time they'd come down, the Bucks would get it within 7 or 8. They'd hit a three, or they'd hit a tough fadeaway like shot. And it's not like the Bucks weren't making adjustments. There was, multiple times in game one where they left the bigs out front on Paul or Booker. They just took them to the hole and had an and one or free throws. I mean, that was the story of game one, was the free throw disparity, and the Suns.
Well, that's always
every single one.
That's seeming like that's the consistent story.
No, but it's
the Bucks.
The free throws that were made are what won the game for them ultimately.
Or the free throws that were missed.
Well, they didn't
by the Bucks
for game one.
That's true.
So every single time they come down, they'd have a really good offensive set.
Ooh, yeah, they did.
Roll, and then they'd hit a jump shot to take the momentum back, and it was just like there were shots that it was like, how is that going in? What is going on? It's like some home cooking right now. That's what it is.
It is. It really is. I thought that they did miss a good amount of free throws in game one.
No.
Remember you were
they missed like they took 11 and they missed 5.
I think it was late. Oh, okay, it's not terrible. It could be better. But yeah, that's just what it is, man. If you want my honest opinion, I think the Bucks are not going to win this. I thought they were games, the way that Chris Paul's playing, the way that LeBron James is pumping him up even on social media. Chris Paul knows that this might be his only chance to get one. This might be his only chance, and final chance.
Too. Like Booker, at the end of the bubble last season, Booker was emerging as a star. And this playoff run, Booker has emerged as a superstar. Yeah. He is a superstar. He is the Suns' next big player.
I agree. But now let me. The way that it's going right now, the Bucks look like they're not gonna come out on top. But again, first 2 games were in Phoenix. Now we got Sunday. Next 2 games are in Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a completely different stadium than obviously Phoenix. Obviously, home court advantage. Milwaukee Stadium is loud. It is very, very loud, and they get that extra day of rest too. How did Giannis look? I didn't get to catch the last part of the game. How did he look at the end?
Last night?
Was he limping? Yeah, was he limping? He's obviously going to be sore. Every player's sore. He's going to be more sore because of his knee. But
so that was the thing to me. In game one, the Bucks looked tired. Every single series has been a battle for them, except for the first series. Like, the Nets and then the Hawks series was a battle. Giannis coming off that knee injury, he had an unbelievable game one. Comes out game 2, steps it up another notch. So
yeah, even better. Yeah.
He collided knee to knee with a player in the beginning of the 4th quarter that they called an offensive foul on him for, and I still don't understand because that defender was on skates. He wasn't even in front of him when the contact was made. So
I can tell you what's happening.
It's just interesting, but after that play, he was limping a little bit, and he still looked fine after that play, but obviously there's a little bit of soreness there.
Of course. Well, there's soreness anyways. Yeah, just going knee to knee to somebody.
Yeah,
somebody that's a terrible pain.
So I don't think it was his hyperextended knee that he went knee to knee with. If I remember right, it was his opposite. So.
Oh, geez. So he's gonna have 2 sore knees now. Oh man.
Well.
Like every other player on the court.
That's what I'm going to say. Every player feels something right now.
Right. So, yeah, my thing is I think what's happening is, and this is not like a great take, this is probably easily known that this is factual, because obviously you know how in football pregame you see the coaches, talking to the refs. So it's like Belichick will be talking to the ref saying, the DBs are a little touchy, a little pulley. They pull on that jersey to watch out for that. So I'm sure the other team on the basketball court is saying, hey, this is Giannis. Well, we're going to be standing there trying to get some charge calls. So already planting that seed in their mind. So when it happens, when he goes full speed, even if the defender's sliding his feet, they're still on edge to call the charge. So, because a lot of them, in my opinion, a lot that I saw in game one, The way that they go after Giannis is extremely aggressive, and in my opinion, it's borderline flagrant. The way that they go and foul him when he goes up. Granted, we all know why they're fouling him. He's not the greatest free throw shooter. Yes, clap, 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 good foul, but borderline flagrant. How they're hacking at him.
How many times did he get hit in the head last night? It seemed like every time he went up for he'd get an offensive rebound and go up, and he'd get fouled immediately. It is Hack Shaq again. He's a little bit better at free throws than Shaq is, but he took quite a few better shots shooter to the head last night, and it's like,
I'm telling you, man, it's borderline flagrant. I'm like, what? I'm like, I get it. You foul him when he goes in because 95% of the time he's going to make the shot, the layup, 98% because he's just that tall. But he's not that great of a free throw shooter. I understand it, but dude, they're coming down on him, as in hacking downward on his wrist, hacking downward on his body, on his shoulders, near his neck. I'm like, it's a little aggressive. I like the contact, of course, but that seems a little bit more violent. But I'm rooting for the Bucks. I really am. But in my honest opinion right now, so at the beginning, I thought the Bucks were going to do it. They still can, of course. It's just my opinion. We all got one. But the way that Chris Paul's playing right now,
the way that Holiday and Middleton are playing right now, like
12 for 34.
I am so done with this narrative that I'm seeing that Giannis has made the Bucks worse. That Giannis is the reason that the Bucks don't swing the ball, that the ball doesn't move. Game 1, Giannis was setting screens for Middleton and Holiday always. It's not like the ball gets to Giannis and it just stops. People stop moving. Nobody's like coming from the side. You can see the difference in the offenses, and that's coaching philosophy. That's not the player. Like, Giannis is not a selfish player.
Absolutely not. And that's the Bucks offense. That's why people like him so much, because again, just like you stated, you don't have that big time superstar like Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, LeBron James, where the ball has to touch their hands every sequence. Yep. Even if they're gonna pass it. But yeah, man, I think if that is the case,
I mean, that one play last night just showed how different the Suns' offense is to the Bucks, where it touched every single player's hands, and then Ayton got a layup, and it was like,
you know what it seems like? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and you look at the Bucks, and it's like, why can't they swing it like that? But they don't have the role players that the Suns have either.
True. You know what it looks like to me? It just looks like a bunch of vets versus, some second and third year players, which obviously that's not the truth. That's not factual.
No, but
it seems like it, don't it?
But it's inverse. The Suns are a bunch of second and third year players, and the Bucks are a bunch of vets.
But you would think it was the other way around.
Yeah, you would when you're watching these games. But that's because they bought into the coaching philosophy. It's like when Phil Jackson came in and took over the Lakers and turned them around immediately. Yeah. Everybody bought in, and you see that offense, and it works. Every time Phil implements the triangle, it works. Yeah, nobody else has implemented it like him.
That's very true. Actually, I got two things on that. It's a good segue. I'll ask that one next. Let me touch on this Middleton one again. If that is the truth, if that is possibly how Middleton and Holiday's feeling,
I don't think that.
Then why don't they?
People, like analysts, there's some analysts like the hot take analysts, and then just like these
because they can play the same basketball. They can play the same basketball that they were playing with Giannis on the court.
I mean, Holiday shot 7 for 21 last night, and Middleton 5 for 16. That's pretty similar to what they did in Game 1. Middleton had some big shots in Game 1, but he had a lot of turnovers and a lot of bad turnovers. Last night he didn't, but I mean, Holiday's missing layups. Holiday's missing like pretty open shots. Like, he's playing pretty decent defense for the most part. So you absolutely have to keep going to him. But
have to.
My goodness, Holiday just does not look on the offensive side of the ball like he's comfortable whatsoever.
No, obviously he's a great defender, great defensive player. But they somebody has to step up. If the Suns win Game 3, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a must-win game.
This is a must-win game.
So hopefully Giannis's knee, it feels good, because then otherwise we'll look back and we'll be like, it was a mistake to play him in Game 1. Even though he played good and he looked really good, that block that he had coming back at the end of the first half, that was an amazing play on a hyperextended knee you would have never thought.
I had a question for you.
Yep.
About the Phil Jackson. What the heck is up with, was that Scottie Pippen? Calling him racist? Who's calling Phil Jackson racist?
I didn't even see it. I don't even know what
you didn't see that? Let me pull that up. Somebody was calling him.
I feel like that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen 10 days ago says Phil Jackson is a racist. I'm just going to throw that out there. Since you haven't checked it out, I haven't really read as many articles, so we're not going to give a take on that just yet, but kind of put that on people's radar.
Scottie Pippen lately.
He has. He has. But to say that Phil Jackson is a racist, that's, you can't just be saying stuff like that unless if you got proof, evidence, what have you. You can't just be throwing accusations out like that. It's Phil Jackson, for one. And two, Phil Jackson was a huge point to their, obviously MJ, of course, but Phil Jackson, major reason to their rings.
Yep. So, just look, he went to the Lakers and won.
Exactly.
4 more. 5 more.
So, Shaq helped, of course, but Phil Jackson, so I'm just going to put that on your radar. And that's not coming from a Rick Fox. That's coming from Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, no.
So, and I just thought about it whenever you mentioned Phil Jackson. I was like, wait. My brain just started going off. I'm like, wait. Something's telling me. Then boom, found it. Yeah. So yeah, man. So Game 1 loss. Game 2 loss. Bucks are down 2-0.
But here's the thing that I take away from it. The Suns are making big shots and everything. The Bucks have contested quite a few. The Suns went 24-25 from the free throw line in Game 1. Both games were 10-point losses. They're playing with them though. As much as we're down because we're Wisconsin sports fans and that's what we do.
10 points is nothing.
10 points, you're right in it. So
if you remember Reggie Miller,
couple shots drop, and you're looking at the other side we're 1-1.
Free throws, man. So it's those free throws, man.
Oh, last night definitely was the free throws. Last night was definitely the free throws.
Come on, man. Those are free. You're a professional athlete. You got to make those free shots. You got to. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a free throw.
Yep.
You are best of the best of the crop, best on the planet. Got to make it. Or at least be above 80. You got to
be near it. You got to be near 75%. You got to be 75% from the free throw line. That's what you got to be.
That's not the worst. That's 3 out of 4. That's doable. So, we'll see. So Game 3 is Sunday. What time is that at? Let me see. Oh, we got to talk about the Euro Cup too. Thank goodness I picked Italy. But
I see. I do remember one of us picking Italy, and I remember the other one saying, "You're an idiot. Just stop talking."
Yeah. So Game 3, I can't find the time, but probably 8 p.m.
I got it.
But yeah, we'll see.
7
I'm rooting for the Bucks. Rooting for the Bucks, but I don't see it happening.
Listen, the Bucks are gonna win Game 3. They're gonna come out. They're gonna look good. They're gonna win Game 3 by 5. All right. And then we're going to be talking a different tune, because if the Bucks win Game 4 and they go back down 2-2, you're looking at the Nets series all over again.
Very true. So about this Euro Cup.
What is the Euro Cup?
God dang, Italy and England, huh? Italy and England.
So transitioning from the NBA Finals that everybody knows what the NBA is, we're going to the Euro Cup, which a lot of people don't understand what that is.
Right.
So the Euro Cup is basically the World Cup, but just European teams. And generally, European teams are your best teams in the world. So it basically is the World Cup, and minus like Brazil and Argentina. So it's been a lot. It's been pretty good soccer. We got the finals.
A lot of shootouts.
We got the finals now. It was not a finals that a lot of people predicted. You know,
I did not.
A lot of the big teams got knocked out fairly early in the round of 16. What do you think about this? So we have Italy and England. England is a bunch of young players playing, above their heads, inspiring the entire country of England right now. So,
I mean, I think my take. I did not expect England to. I knew Italy was a good team. I for some reason I just didn't have my money on England making it this far. I really didn't. I didn't see that happening. I was really sold on France making it, but we got knocked out. Switzerland shootout. Finished with a 1-2 record. Not the greatest performance. Not the greatest performance at all. But
man, I remember this guy. We were talking about the Euro Cup, and he's like, "Dude, France got this on lock."
I thought so.
Oh,
come on.
You're not even a big dum-dum for talking.
Be different if I would have said
at all.
Different if I said like Turkey or something. But France, everyone knows is a great football club there. Great football club. Football club. Internationally.
It's called soccer.
There, France for sure. So it's not far fetched to think that they would make the push. They just didn't. They just weren't clicking. They just were not clicking at all. But Italy most definitely is. Italy's playing some good soccer. Italy's playing some team soccer. I think they're going to roll on England.
I don't know. England is playing inspired. Like just one little opening, and it's like their energy level cannot be matched. And we'll see.
They have more history, more.
I don't know about that.
Obviously, more richer history. You know, Wayne Rooney. I mean, a bunch of guys actually went through there. I mean, gosh, obviously Beckham.
Italy's only 8 years removed from a World Cup title. Or is it 12?
I think it's 12. I think it's 3. I think it's been 3 World Cups.
That's not that long ago.
Insane.
So, you know what I've been struck by in this Euro Cup, though? There's been a lot of own goals. A lot of own goals.
Yep, 2000. In the competition in 2006 was the last year. So, yep, that's...
Oh, that's longer. I'm old.
4?
I'm old.
But what were you saying, sorry?
Saying I'm old.
No. You were saying something about...
There's been a lot of own goals in this Euro Cup. Like, a lot more than I kind of remember there ever being.
Portugal.
I feel like there's been a lot of...
Portugal against Germany.
Like, an own goal's not something that you see very often, but we see it in just about every game right now.
And shootouts. There's a lot of shootouts.
There are.
Which is a good thing. It's if I'm buying a ticket and traveling out there, I'd love to see that. Very competitive game. All the way down literally to the final kick. I remember Portugal and Germany's own goal. Portugal own goal themselves. That'd be sick.
Wasn't it? Maybe it wasn't Germany. Somebody won 1-0 that made a deep run, and it was the reason they won 1-0 was because of an own goal. That wasn't Portugal and Germany, was it? I don't think so.
Well, Portugal and Germany, there wasn't an own goal.
Yeah.
It's there was, but it might have been. Was it France? I think it might have been France.
That could be.
I think it was. I think it might have been France.
It was France. Yep.
I think it was. Yeah, and they got lucky and made it to the 16 round against Switzerland, but obviously didn't make it. 4-5 shootout. Make it.
That'll
make
happen.
it. Indeed, it will. So that's the Euro Cup. When is that game?
Oh, looking it up right now. Why am I going the long way? I don't know, but I am. Come on now. What about Argentina making the Copa America final?
I actually did not. Oh, the what?
The Copa America final. What?
I didn't see that. I did not see that.
ESPN is unusable to find soccer games.
Yeah, good luck. ESPN sucks. Yeah, you heard it here. People have been really complaining about ESPN lately.
Well, for good reason. So it is. Okay, why don't you show me when it's scheduled?
We got Bucks Sunday,
July 11th. The game starts.
Nice. We
8
got the
p.m.
Euro Cup
British
finals.
time, so that is.
Ooh, we got soccer on Sunday and the finals. Game 3.
Yep.
Sunday will be a good day. It will be a good day.
2 p.m. Sunday, July 11th, 2 p.m.
It's a sweet time.
Versus Italy. And if Italy
Kids should be down for a nap.
If Italy wins, bro, and I called it before, I'm never letting you live that down. I'm going to bring that up till the next time the Packers win the Super Bowl, which, guess what, is never going to happen. So I'm
going to be a long time.
Going to let it go. They're always, you know what? I bet you in the next 6 years, they make 3 NFC championship games and they lose every single one. And then
I just don't know, man. I just don't know about them.
Before half, they will give up at least a 40-yard touchdown in every single one.
They re-signed Kevin King too, which I think they should have. He had
one bad game. It just happened to be the NFC championship game.
Exactly. You can't not re-sign him because of that. I should
say he had one atrocious game.
Right.
He actually played really well last year.
See, so obviously the talk about Rodgers, no one knows. He actually came out and said,
"You like how I got the transition in there? That's professional." So, now I'm calling it out because it's double professional.
So no one really knows what's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers, if he's returning to Green Bay, if he's not, the reason, what he's looking for, he's obviously looking for somebody to pick him up, right? Pick up that contract.
Well,
or give him that guaranteed. That's right. He's looking for that guaranteed.
That's the thing. There's a lot of misnomers about the contract. So Aaron Rodgers said he'll take a pay cut if he gets 3 years guaranteed.
Yes,
that's all he wants is 3 years guaranteed, and the Packers won't give it to him. Which
3 years is a long time.
They drafted
someone that old,
a quarterback in the first round. And you look like a real dum-dum as a GM if you give Aaron Rodgers 3 years now.
Exactly.
Because at the end of that 3 years, you will be picking up Jordan Love's 5th-year option, and you don't know if he's any good or not.
I haven't even watched him play exactly. So you can potentially,
God forbid, Rodgers gets hurt and you can see him play, but that's it. Right. So the Packers have basically said no, we're going down with this ship. Either Rodgers is going to play with us or he's not going to play. So, and you know what? Okay.
There's no other option.
Highly paid quarterback to come play. And that's what it is. But I said from the very beginning that this was being made into a bigger deal than it is. And that I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not going to be a Packer when I see it.
Well, what do you mean? That's a little subjective in a sense. A big deal. What do you mean by big deal? Because this is a big deal. because
No,
he wants that
the way
money.
that it was blown up in the media, like made it this massive deal. Like there's this huge
Right.
falling out. No, like they are. There's a little bit of a fallout, and
media
they are
for you.
butting heads. But it's not like they, there's no reconciliation possible at all.
Yeah, that's the media for you.
That's the way that it is.
Over sensationalize things for clicks. That's understandable.
Like they were gonna trade him on draft night. That's what they said. That's what everybody, like not everybody. That's what ESPN and Fox News were saying, was that Aaron Rodgers is getting traded on draft night. There's no, like, Rodgers demanded a trade. It's gonna happen. There was no trade demand.
Here's my thing. I think Jordan Love is I think he's shaping up to be a Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, I hope he's
I
better.
literally think he's shaping up to be.
Why would you say that?
I'm saying the like just that the way that it played out. Jimmy G behind Tom Brady and Jimmy G leaving to San Francisco, playing really well in 1 year and then getting paid.
Maybe. I
can see that.
I could,
depending on what they do with. They're playing chicken right now, and I think that Rodgers is going to win. I think it's going to be a dumb move by the GM, but I think Rodgers is going to win.
He has to. He's the reigning NFL MVP. He just took you to 2 straight NFC Championship games.
Jordan Love is going to be sitting behind Rodgers again for another 3 years.
I think for at least 1 year. I think at least this year. Next year, you never know. Rodgers
might leave, play well, and ball out.
Yep. Right off into the sunset. Done. I just want, Aaron Rodgers said, mental health is important. And he's been using this time to get his mental health in order, which is awesome. I wish more athletes would talk about it. Shout out Naomi Osaka. Her article is amazing. Recommend everybody.
Social anxiety is a real thing.
You think about the way that we as a society and then the media as a whole treated like Ricky Williams or Marshawn Lynch or a lot of players that had anxiety. Yes. And I hope we're coming around on that. It seems like we are. More athletes, your Hunter Henrys, your Darren Wallers, your Aaron Rodgers and Naomi Osaka's, a lot of NBA players, Kevin Love, a lot of players are talking about it, talk about their mental health and the world around it. And now all of a sudden you're having people understand because people are actually talking about it and not just asking for, I don't want to use these words because they aren't asking for it, but people viewed it as asking for sympathy, even though they weren't. They were just saying, like, I don't want to do this. I just want to play the sport. Why can't I do that?
Exactly. That's the problem. That's the problem right there, man. I'm glad you brought that up because it's unfortunately seems as if it's natural for fans to forget that the players on TV are humans.
Oh, yes.
They just don't wake up, their battery turns on. They just wake up and go hop on the court and play. They got families, they got familial pressures, they got many other external, forces that are causing stress in their life that they have to suppress once that game clock starts. And then obviously after the game, then they're forced to stand in front of the media, talk about their mistakes during the game, if they had any, or give credit to their teammates. So essentially what's happening is you get to a point to where you feel as if you're giving so much to others, giving so much, dishing so much out to where you got to take time for yourself. So I'm glad Aaron Rodgers came out and spoke about that because it's important. I mean, the NFL is almost year round. Fans don't even understand that.
It's almost at this point. It is.
Right. Exactly. It most definitely is. Fans believe some fans, again, I'm not generalizing everybody, but think it's just a 16-week season and that's it. Plus the 2
you don't
preseason games.
Shape come training camp by it being just
starts
games. That's what it used to be. That's what it used to be.
Then, especially if you play on a team that's always tends to make it into the playoffs, obviously your season is extended past December. So you're into January. Well, after you lose, or if you make it even to the championship, the Super Bowl, that's in February. You got to freaking report in April for OTAs just a little bit.
Yeah, but
again, you can show up, you don't have to, but it's kind of that unspoken rule where if you don't show up, you're going to be, heavily condemned for it passively. And so then obviously once you finish that, then you have to report again in April, May for another mini camp, a veteran mini camp. You got a break, April, May, then you report in July. So the latter part of July, last week. So in 2 weeks, the players will now report again until December, until the end of December. Some the end of January and some beginning of February. Very long season. Very, very long season. Obviously, that's just all I know because that's just football. I'm not sure, obviously, the ins and outs of basketball. But again, long story short, love the fact that these players are talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
Was that one of your boys down there?
No. I was blowing my nose, so I muted myself on Discord, and then I realized, I go through the audio, not through Discord. So I just heard that. So I'm sorry. My allergies are really bad, and I meant to mute myself, but I am not tech savvy, and I'm sorry. So yeah, that's embarrassing. I'm sure I just blew somebody's ears out.
Don't care.
When it comes to football and the quarterback position, I feel like we have this narrative that it's the only position that matters. That it's the only position that they can win a Super Bowl. That no other facet of the game, period, can win a Super Bowl. If you win a Super Bowl, it's because of the quarterback. It's a quarterback stat now. And that never used to be the case. We used to understand that it was a team win, that it was a team.
Earl Davis
gets you there, right?
Against the Packers, MVP, 200-some yards.
So, we used to put Dan Marino in the conversation of greatest quarterback of all time, even though he never won a Super Bowl. Because it's not Dan Marino's fault that the Dolphins could not put a team around him to get him to a Super Bowl, or that they kept running into buzzsaws in the playoffs. Like, John Elway almost never won a Super Bowl until he changed the way that he played and they got a defense around him, right? Like, he had a complete team. They had Terrell Davis,
Mobley,
like you just said.
So Mobley over there on defense.
When we're talking about like Aaron Rodgers being the most important piece of the Packers, there's a little bit of truth to that because of past performances and some of our past what we've seen. I mean, we've seen 16 games without Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers are 2-14.
Terrible.
And they had what was supposed to be their next quarterback waiting. Like, McCarthy's been tutoring this guy. He's going to come in, look good in the preseason. He's going to be fine. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers, but he's going to be fine. And that wasn't the case.
Terrible.
So with this same personnel, basically, Aaron Rodgers took him to the playoffs. Took him to a couple NFC Championship games. I think if Aaron Rodgers sits out this year, I think the way that the Packers have put their roster together the past 2 years since Matt LaFleur's taken over, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll make the playoffs, and I think that they will win a playoff game.
That's a stretch.
Even without
That's a stretch. It's a stretch.
It's no longer an 8-win difference. So
That's a stretch, man. Bears might have something to say about that.
With who?
What do you mean with
got?
who? Fields.
Okay.
He's a baller.
Okay.
Again, obviously,
in college.
we'll see.
In college.
True.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fine, though.
Okay.
I think he's going to be fine because the Bears have always been. They just need somebody decent in that position. They have a really good, or not a really. Their defense is good. Danny Trevathan over there, but
I don't think he's there anymore. Is he?
I think so. I think he's still there. Let's see.
Mr. Cheap Shot himself. I don't know why he's still in the league. How many cheap shots do you get to take?
Yeah, he's still there. But that's a stretch, but I respect your opinion, but I'll have to kindly disagree on that.
Their roster
Rodgers
is solid. They didn't
it is
win on the back of Aaron Rodgers last year.
It is, but Rodgers brings that leadership. Rodgers brings that.
Yep.
Rodgers brings those
somewhere else.
He brings those plays, those 3rd and 12.
Yep.
Where when you complete that, when you convert, when you move the chains, then after you finish the game and watch the tape, you realize how important that 3rd down conversion was. Out of the other 3rd down conversions, but Rodgers is really good at that, extending plays and moving the chains. That's just what he's really good at. And I think him and Adams got something special. I think it's hard to replicate in a matter of 4 months before the season starts.
Yeah.
So that's a stretch. I respect it, but obviously neither of us know. But I would have to disagree. I think if Rodgers does not come back and play, I think the Packers do not make the playoffs. I think they finish out as a 7-9. 7-9.
All right.
Was that that extra game this year?
Yeah,
that extra game.
We'll just keep it simple and we'll just go like it's a 16 game schedule because we don't understand yet how that 17th game is gonna. Why would they do that? This is so.
Then 2 preseason games.
Annoyed.
And then now there's more teams in the playoffs. I'm like, you guys are really, really shaking some stuff up here.
Exactly. The Packers are making the playoffs. You're welcome. And this reminds me of that time.
I think it'll be the Bears.
Conversation about
I think it'll be Bears.
Russell
Lions.
Wilson being the MVP, and I'm like, hold on now. Aaron Rodgers is playing really well, and
you did say that
Russell Wilson is going to be MVP.
Okay, but hold on.
I guarantee it right now.
Everybody thought that Russell Wilson up to game 7, so the first 6 games.
Everybody jumped off a bridge. I should probably do it.
No. I'm looking at stats. I'm looking at he was balling.
No, he was balling.
Averaging like 5 touchdowns a game.
I didn't say that he didn't deserve to be in the discussion. I just said, hold on now. Aaron Rodgers is also balling at the same level.
Yeah, Russ that team just fell apart second half of the season.
Yeah.
The Seahawks really did. They really, really did.
Everybody forgets that Russell Wilson asked for a trade.
He did.
He didn't. It wasn't like it came out like the Aaron Rodgers thing. It was Russell Wilson publicly asked for a trade.
Publicly. Yeah. So we'll see. We will see.
Lots of interesting football coming up.
We got a lot
of basketball to watch. Brewers
All-Star game coming up.
Staying hot. We need this break though. Yelich needs to get his back healthy.
Yeah, I don't care about baseball. We're done.
You are done.
It's over. The Cardinals are done.
Stick a fork in you.
Done.
Trade everybody.
Yeah.
Start over.
It's over. Well, we got Nolan playing in the All-Star game. That's I don't
you know what?
I don't know how I feel about that, but
believe Trevor Story did not make the All-Star game, and I don't understand how. He's had an amazing.
Still with the Rockies.
Amazing, yeah. He's
throwing
very, very, very good year so far. So for him to not make the All-Star game when it's Colorado hosting it,
exactly.
That is like.
Yeah. I'm here in Colorado right now, guys. Here in Denver, and they are gearing up.
That's because they got nothing else to look forward to.
They are gearing up for it.
Broncos terrible. Rockies terrible.
Nuggets got knocked out.
Nuggets done.
They're decent. They're a decent team.
The
MVP
Murray tore his ACL, so hopefully he can come back from that. But right, it was his ACL or was it Achilles? They got nothing else to look forward to but this All-Star game. That's all I'm saying.
True. It's true. It's true.
You gotta be
all right, man.
To be a Broncos fan. That's all I was saying.
Speaking of that, yeah, we'll get into that next time. We'll get into that talk next time. But Broncos are looking really good on paper. Secondary is looking really good. We're gonna have a guest to talk about that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Looking forward to it. So we are Untapped Keg Sports. We have a second show on Sundays. Just Untapped Keg that we started. It's about our sobriety and mental health. We have a very fun guest coming up. I think that chat might know her as Jenny Fur. Actually, everybody probably know her because we talk about her a lot.
Yeah, by the way, she wants us to send her, like, if we got any questions and stuff and all that. So we'll get that over to her.
And you can catch that Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. That's the live recording. Otherwise, it'll be live on podcast platforms and YouTube Monday. And, you can find us Untapped Keg everywhere. Where can they find you, Mons?
You guys can find me on Twitter at MonteBall28, Instagram MonteBall, Facebook same thing. Obviously our Untapped Keg pages as well. Please send us topics, questions, guests you'd like to see. We'll make it happen. Where can they find you, RJ?
You can find me at the Untapped Keg page, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just Google Untapped Keg. We pop up. And you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's cheer those Bucks on come Sunday.
Exciting Sunday. It's going to be exciting Sunday.
Cheer Italy on. Italy deserves it. They deserve the win. Nobody gave them a shot. And
exciting Sunday. I'll say that.
Let's have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you.